Assalamu alaikum fam, hope you're doing fantastic. We're continuing our reading of Friedrich Nietzsche's Thus Spoke Zarathustra. He is a witty writer, kinda can make you get irritated, laugh, and just think about life in general. And I do enjoy reading his works, and whenever you meet someone who's a Nietzsche enthusiast, they're not too bad to have a conversation with. Go ahead and listen to this as you're driving, doing your stuff. Heck, you could be sewing, who knows. Let's begin. We were dealing, remember, with the section titled On the Tree, on the Mountainside. And he's talking to a youth, okay? When Zarathustra had said that, the youth cried with violent gestures, "Yes, Zarathustra, you are speaking the truth. I long to go under when I aspired to the height, and you are the lightning for which I waited." Look at that. You are the lightning for which I waited. Behold, what am I now that you have appeared among us? Is it the envy of you that has destroyed me? Thus spoke the youth. He wept bitterly. But Zarathustra put his arm around him and led him away. When they walked together for a while, Zarathustra began to speak thus. "It tears my heart. Better than your words tell it. Your eyes tell me of all your dangers. Your eyes tell me of all your dangers. You are not yet free. You still search for freedom. You're worn from your search and overwake. You aspire to the free heights. Your soul thirsts for the stars. But your wicked instincts too thirst for freedom. You aspire to the stars. Wicked instincts thirsting for freedom. So there seems to be a battle going on with his inhibitions. This is interesting. Your wild dogs want freedom. Haha, don't let them out. Keep them in their kennel. They bark with joy in the cellar when your spirit plans to open all prisons. Now this is a very cool symbolic analogy, metaphor, or you name it. That the dogs, the hounds of hell, they're barking whenever you contemplate releasing them. Now this is clever also for people who've actually had dogs. When they think you're going to let them out, they do begin to howl in their kennels. And the way this is said is very, very pretty. Gloomy, yet pretty. To me, you are still a prisoner who is plotting his freedom. Alas, in such prisoners, the soul becomes clever. Now this is interesting. So he's saying that you're still a prisoner who is plotting their escape, trying to find a way to let out these instincts that want their freedom. And that by doing so, the soul becomes more clever. It almost sounds like looking for a loophole, a way to cut corners. That's how I see it. But also deceitful and bad. And even the liberated spirit must still purify himself. Much prison and mustiness still remain in him. His eyes must still become pure. Now this is quite telling. What does he mean by purify? Because clearly we can see his morality is quite different from ours. Indeed, I know your danger, but by my love and hope I beseech you, do not throw away your love and hope. Well, that's good. Finally, some good advice. You still feel noble, and the others too feel your nobility, though they bear you a grudge and send you evil glances. That's interesting. So even if someone feels your nobility, they can still be someone who holds you in contempt. Know that the nobleman stands in everybody's way, The noble man stands in the way of the good too. How so? Because he can't perceive the reform? Let's see. Even if they call him one of the good, they thus want to do away with him. The noble man wants to create something new, and a new virtue. Yeah, bringing about change. Change can make people disturbed. I liked how he said the noble man stands in the way of people, blocking certain things from happening. The good want the old, and the old be preserved. But this is not the danger of the nobleman. Okay, so I was on the right track. So, preserved. Traditionalism, conservatism, fearing change, the unknown of progressivism, which can be regressive. But this is not the danger of the nobleman, that he might become one of the good, but a churl, a mocker, a destroyer. So, he's showing us the dual nature of the nobleman. He can destroy something that needs to change, but he can also be good and stand in the way of something evil from happening. Alas, I knew noble men who lost their highest hope. Then they slandered all high hopes. So like they became disgruntled and then they wanted to share around their pain. They lost their hopes and then fell into a pit of nihilism and cynicism. Then they lived imprudently in brief pleasures and barely cast their goals beyond the day. Now this is interesting. So the lack of will. So he's getting at how if you hold highest hopes, you'll have more drive and grit to have success. And planning on long-term sustainable pleasures rather than brief pleasures. And when you cast your goals, it'll be more forceful and pervasive instead of barely casting it beyond the day. Spirit too is lust, so they said. Then the wings of their spirit broke, and now their spirit crawls about and soils what it gnaws. Wow. Now that one is interesting. Now their spirit crawls about and soils what it gnaws. Gnaws is chewing on something. Now, soiled can mean two things here. Making it dirty, or they defecate upon it to where it's almost contaminated to where you shouldn't be consuming it, let alone gnawing on it. Very, very distinct language here. Once they thought of becoming heroes. Now they are voluptuaries. The hero is for them an offense and a fright. Voluptuaries versus heroes. But by my love and hope I beseech you, do not throw away the hero in your soul. Hold holy your highest hope. Now this is interesting. Don't throw away the hero in your soul. So don't just give up to despair. Don't just reside in brief pleasures. Don't just cast your goals barely beyond the day. So notice this. Beyond the day. So don't just plan for the now. Plan for the future as well. Have a higher way of pinpointing an agenda that you want to get done. And don't soil what you need to gnaw on. Hold holy your highest hope. That's interesting. Because if you hold something holy, you're going to respect it and cherish it. So if you have a specific hope that is of a high goal, grasp to it. Don't lose hope of it. Keep trying to achieve it, even if it's not happening in the now. Quite fascinating, isn't it? Thus spoke Zarathustra. Wow, I like that one. Now, we're in a new section on the preachers of death. Well, that should be quite bright. There are preachers of death, and the earth is full of those to whom one must preach renunciation of life. So renunciation of life, preachers of death. The earth is full of the superfluous. Life is spoiled by the all too many. May they be lured from this life with the eternal life. I mean, the eternal life, yeah, why not? Yellow the preachers of death wear, or black. But I want to show them to you in still other colors. Now this is a clever line. So yellow and black. Brightness of the sun, blackness and darkness of the night sky, right? That I want to show them to you in still other colors. That is an example of how we would have a play on words. To see the other colors is to see the other side, the other personalities, the other depictions, the other archetypes. So that's a clever line. Yeah, because the clothes are external, but he's trying to talk about the internal. Masking color as for personality, you get it? There are the terrible ones who carry around with themselves the beasts of prey, and have no choice but lust or self-laceration. Yeah, this is a strange one. The flagellation, that really was the thing. They'd whip themselves and do kind of self-mutilation, self-castigation. Very weird stuff. Ooh, yeah, ooh, creepy. And even their lust is still self-laceration. That's a deep line right there. They have not even become human beings yet. These terrible ones, let them preach renunciation of life and pass away themselves. Dang, saucy. These are those with consumption of the soul. Hardly are they born when they begin to die. Too long for doctrines of weariness and renunciation. Doctrines of weariness. Doctrines of renunciation. They would like to be dead, and we should welcome their wish. Oh, jeez. That's funny. We should welcome their wish. Let us beware of walking the dead. Oh, sorry. Even worse. Let us be aware of waking the dead and disturbing these living coffins. Now that is a line. Bars. Living coffins waking the dead. We should welcome their death wish. Man, Nietzsche's funny, man. He's funny. You know? He's great at writing. I really like this. Just the way he talked in this section. Very, very unique. Your wicked instincts thirst for freedom. Your wild dogs want freedom. They bark with joy in the cellar when your spirit plans to open all the prisons. The noble man stands in the way of good too. Do not throw away the hero in your soul. Hold holy your highest hope. There are preachers of death. And then the yellow, that they wear yellow and black, but he wants to show there's still other colors. Even their lust is self-laceration. Let us beware of waking the dead and disturbing these living coffins. He's got lines there. You're like, yeah. Very enjoyable. What do you think?